Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick the Cool, in a giant sea of cool podcasts. You found the one that kicks the cool to the curb every single time. And oh my goodness, we are so pumped to be here. I am your big little brother, Tone.
I am your little brother, Wopsle.
And I'm your big sister, Shishi.
And I notice Sherry's got a little pep in her step today. She's dancing because this is the first time that we're recording our podcast and we can actually see each other on camera while we're recording.
Whoop, whoop. I saw you guys not react to my woot woot.
I'm raising the roof.
I was going to say, yeah, we have to describe what we're doing because it's a podcast. So we're like, I'm raising the roof right now. Cabbage Patch. I'm doing a perfect moonwalk.
Right. Perfect, yeah.
Right. Flawless moonwalk.
The flawless moonwalk is what I want to talk about today.
What a coincidence.
Okay.
No, I mean, think about, okay, when Michael Jackson did the moonwalk, right? Like, of course it was life-changing. It was, but wasn't it the weirdest thing have you gone back and looked at the footage of it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But now that I know how he does it, I mean, it's not a mystery anymore. But at the time, it was like wild. What in the heck is he doing?
Well, and here's the mystery to me is what kind of choreographer says, hey, let's dance, let's do a spin, let's for sure grab the crotch, and this is the part we're going to do a magic trick. It's like, well, like it's not a dance move, kind of. It's just a magic trick.
Hey, you guys, though,
Right.
I think that he got that from someone else. I remember seeing a video of, like an old-timey guy doing that same move. So,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I've got to see this old school moonwalk.
But
the OG moonwalk.
Michael Jackson is the reason that I take my socks off that way. So he didn't know that middle-aged women everywhere were going to take their socks off by moonwalking out of them.
That's such a great picture. Oh, wait, you're doing it right now. Sherry right now is moonwalking. You can't see her,
She's
but I can.
moonwalking out of her socks.
This is crazy.
See? There's her socks.
Oh, man.
Seeing you guys is kind of distracting.
Yeah. This is really weird. I mean, I don't know, because now I don't feel as much of a need to tell the audience what's going on.
And I'm not
Right.
trying to fill every silence because I'm enjoying watching you.
Right.
Normally when there's nothing going on, like we fill it with a joke, but right now I'm just doing this.
And no one knows what you're doing.
And on the podcast, it's terrible, but you guys are having a blast.
That's right. That is
Blast may be a strong term for what I'm having right now, watching you spin your dance.
You're really good at that, Wopsle. You're really good at it.
Did you make that up? Is that
I
how you
think
take your shirt off?
I think that I did, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, of course, Nick Lachey made it up, but then I said, hey, that's a good way to take your shirt off. So now it's a dance move that I took from him.
This is terrible. Are we going to have to turn off the cameras?
No, we
This
can
is
do
terrible.
it.
Okay,
this
we
was
can
a
do
good
this.
this was a good intro. It's fine.
Okay, good intro.
Good energy. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Okay, so let's help people today, guys. With our first review today, we're going to go to my favorite little brother in the world, Wopsle. Wopsle, what are you going to review for us today?
Today for the first review, it's another one that's really close to me. So this is the start to tell you what review we're doing. Not all our reviews are created equally. This topic, haikus.
Oh,
I want
yes.
to talk about haiku poems. Anybody that knows me knows I have a very strong feelings towards. I have some very strong feelings towards haiku poems, but
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are going to have as much to say. But I think overall we can have good conversation. So, what do you think about haiku?
I love them. They're so interesting. Like usually I think they're about nature or something, and you kind of took that to a different level. I still have the book. It's right over there on my shelf that you wrote and gave me a copy for Christmas one year. And it's the cutest.
Yeah, it's a book of haiku poetry that I printed out like 15 or so and gave to family. So, yeah. Yeah, I definitely like it. Tony, what about you? What do you think about when you think about haikus?
You know, you changed my views of haikus because, like, before I read that book that you wrote of haikus, I thought that they were all, extremely poetic, and yours
I proved you so wrong.
Yours are a little more like yours. You know what yours are? Yours are the working man's haiku.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a microwave. Da da da. You know, like that's.
Yeah, my haikus, they get up in the morning, they put their pants on, and they just go out and get to work.
That's right.
Making people think and laugh.
Yeah, most of my haikus do make people laugh. But yeah, of course, I've got lots that I can read. We're not reviewing Wopsel's haikus necessarily, although I'm happy to give as many as we want. But yeah, I think you mentioned, haikus were usually about kind of nature and things, I think, historically. And then, haikus, some would say technically they don't have to follow the 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables rule. But I feel like that's what makes haikus fun, is to follow those syllables. So
I think that's what a haiku is.
I was going to say, I thought that was the definition of haiku.
I mean, yes, but there are some, what's the opposite of a purist? Impurist. There are some impurists out there.
Anarchists.
Nailed it.
Anarchists might be better, but I'm sticking to it. There are some impurists that just kind of say, well, as long as it's 3 lines, like it's the essence that makes it a haiku. But I think that that's fully false. I first learned about haiku whenever I was in 5th grade. And I remember my very first haiku I ever wrote. Of course, we were learning about it. And to learn about it meant we were learning about nature. And my very first haiku was yellow and brown leaves. One brown leaf falls from above. It lands with the rest.
Aww.
That's pretty good haiku, right?
That is great. How old were you when you wrote that?
5th grade. So that's about 10 or 11.
Perfect.
Yeah, 11 years old. That's a really good start to your haiku career.
Yeah. And so, you think like, man, at 11 years old, we got to keep our eyes on this guy, because he's going to be doing something real serious. And then one of the more recent ones I wrote is this. Why can't a T-Rex give a person a good hug? Because they're all dead. So you see, like, I don't know that I've gone up from the leaves or if I've gotten worse from the leaves.
You've just morphed into a different style. That's all.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. So yeah, so other than if I wasn't so hip to haikus, do you guys think that you would like care at all about haikus, or am I the one like bringing it to my little corner of the world?
No, I like poetry in general, but haikus, they're easy. You don't really, you don't have to rhyme. They're so short, and you're just trying to give a little piece of yourself in them. So I do like haikus. And, but I will say that you have given me an appreciation, and I'm very happy that you are giving me all of these haikus. Okay. Yes. I'm happy that this is happening. So, but I do like them in general.
Yeah. If you weren't doing your haiku thing, Wopsel, I would not have near the appreciation I do. Now, I love them. And when I remember in the 5th grade studying them for the first time, and I was fascinated by, I really love like iambic pentameter, and I love these structures in which you have to place your words and create a coherent thought out of these structures, right? Like the format, you have to follow the format, and it dictates a little bit of what you can do and what you can't. And I love those things. That's why I always loved songwriting, is because I would take the music and then fit the words into the music. And so there was that, it fulfilled that need that I have to do that.
Yeah. And that's what I think, I don't know that I'm much of a poet. I think I like writing just fine, but it is the constraints about haiku that make it so fun for me. Like, some people might not know this. I was a math major my very first semester in college. And then I switched it to music pretty quick because I realized calculus in college was different than calculus in preg high school, and I didn't like it quite as much. But I still love math, and so like haiku, it's more about the math and having to fit in words for a certain number of syllables in order to make a joke is really what haiku is for me.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
yeah. It's the constraints or make it. That's why I think I'm such a purist about the 5-7-5, because the stricter the rules, the better the experience is, I think,
I agree totally.
I was looking at literally the most recent haiku that I did just a couple of weeks ago. I still put them on Twitter, and now that Twitter doesn't link to Facebook, nobody sees my haikus anymore. But the most recent one I did, I think, is pretty good. It says, charcuterie board, a random piece of old wood with meats and some cheese. Just right there. I think it's
So
good.
do you like taking up a whole lot of syllables with one word and then fitting other things around it?
Most of my haikus, I start writing because I'll hear a short word with a lot of syllables. Like refrigerator is 5 syllables. So once I hear that, I'm like, oh, I would love to make a haiku where the last line is just one word. So I do like to use, so that's what charcuterie, when I did that, I was like, oh, it's 4. Oh, but charcuterie board, that's 5. So that was what started that one. So I do enjoy that. Yeah.
I am verifying your count of the syllables, by the way, by counting them.
I'm watching Sherry count off every time she's like, she gets a look of, is that right? And then she goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on her fingers. And then she goes, oh yeah, that's right.
Independent verification.
Listen,
really
I love it because I'm so diligent about it. I love for people to test me. Now, speaking of testing me, though, here's a couple of things that maybe people aren't thinking about haiku. I would love you guys' opinion. In that book I gave you, one of them is, Grandma always said, slow and steady wins the race. She died in a fire. So that's the haiku, but the question is, how many syllables is the word fire?
It is 1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I did on my haiku, but there are 2 different camps of that out there because, of course, if you're doing it more audibly, fire definitely has 2 hits, fire.
Yeah, except it has 1 vowel. I think that the single vowel makes it 1 syllable because it's a we say far.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We had a far. That's 1 syllable for sure.
Well, and that's what I was about to say. A lot of it depends on what region you're from, right? What state are you from, and that kind of thing, as to how many syllables fire has. Because some people are like, fire. Now, you tell me how many syllables that had, Wopsle. That was clearly 1, right?
Uh-huh.
Fire.
But how you normally say
fire.
Yeah.
We pronounce it like it's spelled F-I-Y-E-R.
Uh-huh.
F-I-Y.
Start up that fire.
Fire.
Uh-huh.
Beavis and Butthead definitely have 1 syllable when they say fire. 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 Fire.
Fire.
Oh no! Are we quoting Beavis and Butthead on this podcast?
Oh yes,
we did it.
I broke it open. You can have fun now.
Adding that to the list of future reviews.
Oh no!
Okay, well, and before we wrap up, I want to talk about one more aspect of haikus that I've only been getting into recently, and it's performing haikus in front of a crowd. I've done that a couple of times recently, and what that does is it affords you a visual joke. So let me give you one example of a haiku I shared recently in front of a crowd. It says this: people write congrats because they don't know how to spell congratulations. So it was one where I realized congratulations was 5 syllables, so it's kind of funny anyway. But of course, visually, whenever that is printed on the screen behind me, I misspelled congratulations really, really, really badly. So it's kind of even more funny. Right? Yeah. So there's a couple of visual haikus that I can't really tweet because they're not funny. I'll give you one more. What has 4 letters and sometimes has 9 letters, but never has 5.
Nice.
See?
Yeah. Never has 5.
If you're not looking at it, what has 4 letters, WHAT, and sometimes has 9 letters, but never has 5 letters.
Right.
So that one's hard to get in the audio format too.
Yes,
but like
it is.
every time I've done that one live, I mean, there's like 10 seconds of silence, and then one guy will be like, "Oh, I get it," and then everyone will laugh. So
That
I
might
was
be my
thinking
favorite
really hard.
haiku.
Yeah.
yeah.
That might be my favorite haiku I've ever heard. Right there. I think
Well,
that's it from now on.
Thank you. That is, some of mine I take someone else's joke and fit it into haiku form, but that one was one that was just totally my thought and process. So that's an original Wopsle right there that I'm pretty proud of. So
Yeah, that's amazing.
you can take that one. Take that one with you. Okay, well, listen, I could talk about haikus all day. If you want to see a dumb random one about every 2 weeks, go follow me on Twitter at Mr. Wopsle. Go follow me there and you can see a random haiku once in a while. But as we wrap up things, I'm going to ask you guys to rate haikus with a haiku. So Shishi, you're up first. What is your rating for haikus?
Oh boy.
So
Oh,
much
boy.
pressure. Okay, here's mine. I have to get prepared. Haikus are haikus. I give them a rating of many, many stars. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is great, She. That is
Technically,
great. Well,
that was a haiku. And it had nature in it. So stars,
no, that was great. Very, very impressed. Honestly, Sherry, very impressed. Good job.
Good job, Shishi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Tone, that is a high bar set. What is your rating for haikus?
Oh wow. This is a hard one, especially coming after what she just brought, the heat.
Yeah.
The heat
I'm
that
sure.
she just came with.
Mhm.
Well, Sherry had the idea first to rate with haikus. So here is my rating. I stole this from she. The idea to rate this way. This is my rating. That is my rating for haikus.
Perfect. Very good.
That's perfect. Yeah, I love that. Well, I have one as well that I should have come in writing one, but mine has nothing to do with a rating. It's just another funny one that I wrote about this podcast. So here we go. Here's my rating for haiku. Here's a conundrum for you during this podcast. How do witches bathe? That's my rating.
Okay, we can leave it at that.
Bathe.
That's
All right, listener. Message us on Facebook or reviews at kick.cool, or Twitter, whatever, and let us know what you think that means, because I could use a little help on this one.
What do you mean? What happens? Then tell me, how do witches bathe?
they get in the bathtub like everyone else.
They can't get wet.
Why not?
Why not?
What? Have you guys never seen a witch? Witches melt with water.
The one in The Wizard of Oz did, but none other witches do.
I didn't
Do
know that was.
I'm
Well,
making that up.
on the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
They float.
witches float. So
So still,
Right.
see?
how do
well,
they bathe if they float?
Okay, they can't because they float.
Listen,
Okay.
they're either melting or floating. Either way, they're not getting clean. So they nasty.
Okay, we will give
They
that to you.
nasty. them witches is nasty.
That's what I know.
That's why people don't like them. It's not because they're mean or cast spells or anything. It's because they
stink
stink.
like crap.
Yeah.
They smell like toes.
No one could see this, but Sherry did a little maneuver when she said toes with her arms. She said they smell like toes and moved her arms in a certain way that was very funny. Okay, well,
Oh,
let's
man.
move on to the next topic, guys. I'm excited about this one. And I don't even know what it is, but my sister has been known to help more people in this podcast than I think like doctors. just doctors in general.
Yeah, probably.
All
I
of
think
them
that's-
combined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
combined.
Yeah.
So Shishi, what are you going to review for us today?
I had a topic and now I'm just like not sure about it. Maybe it's not fun.
I would certainly doubt my own topic. I might even doubt Tone's topic once in a while. I would never doubt your topic. So bring what you got and it will be great.
Okay. Well, all right. So here's the deal. I want to review being on hold. Specifically, hold music.
Okay.
I like that.
The hold music.
So-
Well, think about this. Can you imagine the holding experience where you have to hold for somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour? We've all done it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine an experience where they had a radio station? Like I know that like Taco Bell has their own Taco Bell radio
Yeah.
that they play it in the restaurant for the workers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe for the lobby too. But anyway, the point is that like, you know, some companies have their own radio station. And so what if you just heard like all the songs you love? You could even maybe pick your genre of hold
that'd be
music.
Great.
Can you imagine? I would
You know-
sit there for an hour would fly by.
Here's the deal. If the music had just changed, like I don't even care what I'm listening to, as long as it's not the
Right.
same tune for a 1 minute tune that just repeats over and over again. And for some reason, it's all staticky, like
Mhm.
for no reason. Why
Right.
is it staticky? What is that?
Come on.
Yeah, that's a great point. What does the technology look like where the hold music can get to me so staticky and terrible sounding?
That's like the whole music got worse when our technology got better.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you call somebody like AT&T, you know, I'm like, they should be able to record a decent, you know, recording. This is a telecommunications company. Like they, you know, I don't understand it.
Yeah, and also, you know, like the fact that I'm sure there was a time when repetitive hold music, like there was probably some technical constraints that made that the appropriate thing.
Sure.
But
yeah.
that can't still exist. Like we have to be able to just pipe in music of some kind, even if it's just
Right.
like now that's what I call 80s. You know, anything. Just
That's right.
give me a song, not that thing that they have me on hold with. It's so weird. I
I'm
never thought
wondering-
about this before now.
I'm wondering if the hold music is now piped in over like a satellite or something. Like maybe a big company might have all of their call centers have the same hold music and it's piped in through a satellite. And so that's
Oh,
where the
that's-
static's coming from. That's all I can think of, because if it's direct wired, there's absolutely no reason for static.
No.
And my cable company has changed names 3 times since I've had it. Hold music's the same. 20 years.
Right.
20 years, same hold music. And then
Well, and how about this? Hey, give me an advertisement. Try to sell me something while I'm on hold. That'd be okay. At least it'd be a break.
Sure.
You
yeah.
know, just make it a straight up radio show where you're like, hey, don't forget Taco Bell, but we also got that, you know, that shake. They don't have shakes, whatever they have.
Taco shake.
somebody has shakes, try to sell me one. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have even gas station TV now, and it's better than all of the hold stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you. And no, it is exactly what you would expect from this day and age, the technology level we have.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you would expect.
Yeah.
And then the hold music is 50 years behind.
Yes.
It sounds like they're playing it from a cassette tape that has been worn out.
Yes. I wonder if that's the truth. I refuse to call my cable company unless it's just, you know, unless I'm just really desperate, because when I hear that music, I just want to retch instantly.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I can't, it's something like, please hold. Your call is very important to us.
I'm getting so stressed out right now.
And then
Just
it's
from
just
Sherry
like
singing
repeating.
it.
I know.
I'm hot. It's hot in here.
And that phrase, the phrase of your call is very important to us goes from comforting to infuriating so quickly.
Infuriating. kidding.
Liar.
It doesn't matter how nice it is. If you've been
That's
on
right.
hold for 40 minutes, you've heard whatever it is, at least 40 times.
Right.
Yeah, and how many of us have yelled at the hold music? We're yelling at the phone. If my call was important to you, you would be answering.
That's right.
Have you ever gotten interrupted while you're yelling with them answering the phone?
Oh, no.
No, I haven't.
That has happened to me one time.
I wish so bad that there was a company that had the guts to to be honest about things. You know what I mean? Just be, and I think that people would appreciate it and think it was really funny and would end up giving their business. But can you imagine if every minute that went by that you were on hold, the hold message changed just slightly? So like on minute 1, it's like, your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line and we'll be right with you. And then 10 minutes later, it was like, your call is pretty important. But and then after 45 minutes, it's like, we're trying really hard.
Cool your jets just for a little longer.
I know you're mad right now.
And then they give you space to yell in. Like,
right. Please yell after the beep.
Or how much more grace would you have if the hold music said, hey, we're a little short-staffed today. Reagan called in sick because she wasn't feeling great. So if you could just hold tight, we'll be right with you. We're like, hey, okay, I get it. I've been there.
Bill just went to lunch, and he handles a lot of our calls.
Right. But then the 5th time you call in, and they're like, Bill's still at lunch. You're like, wait a minute. I think they're playing me.
Oh, well, there have been some improvements. I mean, you can sometimes get a call back if you're waiting too long, and now they kind of tell you how many people are in front of you sometimes, and that helps a lot. If I can set the phone down and turn it way, just put it on speaker, turn it way down, and just and know that I'm going to have to wait a little while. It makes it so much better.
It really does.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I do have to say about this. So I worked at a place called Dobson Cellular, and it was a small regional cellular company in Oklahoma and Texas and, surrounding areas. And so our menu, when you called in, was the most lo-fi thing. It sounded like it was on a record player, like the static and it was bad, and you couldn't understand what the people were saying and all this. And I went to my boss and I said, look, I can record this to where it's going to sound great. Just give me like an hour to get in this booth over here. And we've got this little conference room. Let me go get in the conference room. Give me the logins, blah, blah, blah. And what's so funny is that was in 2003. I heard last year, someone was telling me that my voice is still the voice on the menu.
Yes, that is amazing.
And so it's cool. Me. I'm like, thank you for calling Dobson Cellular, and I go through the menu options but it's been 17 years and it's still they haven't changed it. So.
Why would they? If your voice is nice.
I did kind of nail it, so that's a good point.
So it makes sense, yeah.
And I love when they say, like when they're having you choose options and you just know it's going to be like the longest automated menu you've ever been in. And they say, please listen to the selections carefully as our menu may have changed or has changed.
Every time they say that.
And it's for a fact that their menu hasn't changed in 5 years.
That's right. But it's been saying that for 5 years.
5 years.
It's kind of, I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of a construction zone where nothing's been done for like a year, but you still are expected to slow down for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The interstate. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That spot on the interstate.
Right.
Well, I don't know how long we've been talking about this, but surely it's been long enough. Tone, what do you rate hold music?
Hold music. I'm going to rate hold music. I'm going to give it a 3%. 3%.
That is pretty
affirm.
high.
Wow.
That's
Affirm
pretty high.
It's kind of high. I love hold music. No, I'm kidding.
Wob, so what do you rate hold music?
Oh, I'm so torn because I hate being on hold, but so much hold music kind of slaps. So I'm going to have to give hold music a 4%, but with 0 being the highest.
Ah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Getting very mathematically complicated here.
Yes.
Very mathematical.
Okay. Well, I would like to rate hold music. I would like to. Wopsle, you had. I was like, what hold music have you been listening to, and where can I get it?
And
I was going to start writing letters.
And I will say also, why haven't you told me about the term "that slaps"? Because I would have already been using that. Is that what you said? That slaps?
Yeah, that's actually,
yeah.
it's what the kids are saying. Yeah.
Yeah, the kids are saying it. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't need to worry about it, Tone.
Well, I'm too old. I'm too old for it.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know, whenever I think of
whippersnapper, I bet you that slaps. Oh boy, that slaps for sure.
you know, to me, the most slap and hold music is "Girl from Ipanema."
Oh yeah,
but that's never been actually used as hold music. But it's so good. That's what you think of.
Yeah, like I think that you hear that on movies sometimes.
Yeah, like anytime they're in an elevator waiting, like in the middle of an action scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
that's a related topic. Elevator music.
I think that's a great song, but again, I've definitely never been on a phone call on hold and heard that music. But that's
no. I would stay on hold for as long as you wanted me to if that was the case.
Yeah.
And you can have it on a loop, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I might even dance to it at least for the first 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so I'm.
Wopsle's he's doing the dance.
the shirt walk instead of the moon walk.
I don't
want to do that dance because it'll get my underarms flapping, you know, the old lady arm flap. I can't do that dance. I rate that dance 1,000%, and I rate hold music 0.1%.
Wow.
Oh,
that's
we all
what I
went
rate hold
percentages.
music.
That was weird.
I am sick of it. Okay.
Me and Delilah, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm sick of it too. We need to rise up.
I'm too tired.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we'll do it later.
Yeah.
We'll rise up later. Okay, guys. For our final review this week, here is the sweet spot. Here is where we help the most people possible every single time we do it. And in order to, well, let me just tell you about this. You might think they're fun, or maybe they're boring. There's fish that can fly and bees that are swarming. We'll tell them to you, even if they are corny. It's the crazy animal stories. That's right. It's the crazy animal stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Crazy animal stories, everyone.
Yes.
This is
like
where
this
we
one.
take two topics and we put them against each
No.
other.
No.
No, wrong one. Okay. This is where we just tell crazy animal stories. It's not that complicated.
Needs no introduction.
That's right.
Who starts?
I think that Wopsle is going to start us off this week. Wopsle, can you tell me a crazy animal story, please?
I can, and I'm really glad we're doing this segment because I need your guys' perspective on a crazy animal story I experienced that you guys were there for. But I was young and you guys weren't. So let me tell you the story, and I want you guys to interject with either reality, that might be different than my perspective or just your opinion on what was going on.
Okay.
So for my 5th birthday, our mother said, "Hey, little Mikey, what do you want for your birthday?" I don't know why I said this. I don't know where I'm sure I heard it in a movie or something because I told her that I wanted a pony. Hey guys, guess what? I didn't want a pony. What in the crap was I going to do with a pony? Like,
Yeah,
I hate horses. I hate ponies. I hate anything with 4 legs and giant teeth. Yes.
Why did you say that?
You guys used to drag me on those trail rides out north of Paden, and I hated it. So,
Yeah.
So first of all, do you guys know why I told Mom I wanted a pony?
Maybe you saw a show because kids always want ponies on shows.
So that part's pretty crazy. You want to know the crazier part of the story? Is when our mother bought me a pony. Mom, if you're listening, that was a bad call. You should have double-checked if I actually wanted a pony before you bought like one of the hardest animals to like have around ever.
I remember that pony.
We bought this pony, and its name was Smokey. Now, how long did we actually have Smokey, do you guys think?
I'm going to say 2 weeks. Like, not very long at all.
Yeah, it could have been hours as far as I know.
Right.
Was Smokey from Burt Bailey's? He had 2 ponies. One was named Strawberry, and the other one was named Apache. So
Apache, right.
I don't remember Smokey. I'm sorry.
Smokey was like, didn't Smokey have like a really pretty mane and stuff?
I don't know. I just remember he had them big nasty teeth where he could bite my hand off at any minute. That's all I remember about him.
Yeah, but he didn't.
No.
He
So
could've.
He didn't want to do that.
I know that you're the one where the
Ponies
story.
are mean.
They are, but
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I know that you were the one here at the moment of calamity that I needed your perspective on. So if you don't remember Smokey, you might have a hard time remembering this. But there was we got Smokey. Of course, we didn't have a saddle. I don't think we even had like a place for him to stay. It was just like now Pony lives here.
I remember
sure.
seeing him standing out there. He was just standing there in the rain, and there was he's just tied to a tree.
Well, we were going to build him something. I'm sure that was the plan.
Yeah. Usually you do that before you buy the pony.
Are you sure it was for your birthday though? Because
I know
I'm
that
thinking
it was a gift
too
for
cold.
me.
Oh,
It was definitely a gift for me. That's all I know for sure.
Because your birthday is in the winter time, and
Yeah,
I don't remember that being an issue.
that poor pony.
I don't know.
Yeah, if we did get him without a shelter in the middle of December, that was pretty mean. So here's
It was literally tied to a tree. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
just
Can't get over that. In the front yard.
think about
All the rest of the animals were in the backyard, right? This pony was up there by itself, tied to a tree. Just
in that front yard. Here's the deal. Very few families just go from one day you don't own a pony and you're not ready to the next day you own a pony all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But that's what we did. So of course we didn't have a saddle. We didn't have anything for him. So here's the moment is, Sherry, you told me that you can ride a horse bareback.
Oh no. Yeah. Well, you can.
Well,
that's true.
Get
That's
a bad
true.
feeling.
if you use the word you, that would have been your mistake because I, as we're about to prove, could not ride a pony bareback. So but I wanted to ride him. He was my new pony, right? So we put a towel on his back and I sat on him, and Sherry, as I remember it, you began to walk him.
I think I do remember that. Yeah. Because I was there in case something happened.
Yeah. Having my back on my new pony, right? And so pretty immediately, guess what happened? He took off running really, really, really fast, left everybody in the dust. And I kind of do I think it had to look like a old cartoon where I'm like off to the side, as he's going. So I go farther, I'm about 45 degrees, which is looking kind of sketchy. And then when I get like about 60 degrees facing sideways off of this horse, I hit a tree with my face.
Oh.
Whoa. You guys remember that part of your little brother hitting his face on a tree?
I've blocked it out.
And so, I don't remember, honestly, I don't remember what happened after that, but I remember very vividly riding on the horse and falling off the side. And, well, I don't think it was mere hours that we kept the pony after that, because of course when I came to, I was like, why did you guys get me a pony? I didn't want that. I just wanted a G.I. Joe.
Right.
So I don't know where we sent that poor pony off to. Most animals we wanted to get rid of met their demise out by the road with some guns. I hope we didn't do that to Smokey.
No, I'm sure not. I'm sure we just found someone to take him. But I feel like I rode on Smokey. And so, it was okay. Like I knew he could be ridden and it was okay. And probably didn't ride him a lot because I bet we didn't even have a bridle. I don't remember any kind of tack at all. So...
And you probably said, here, just hold on to his mane. And I probably held on really tight and started yanking it.
And he probably had a halter. So I was probably holding the halter and trying to lead him that way. And he might have yanked his head out of my grasp and took off and smashed you up against a tree, which ponies love to do. I got scraped off of a couple of ponies that way.
Oh, yeah. Apache did that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like every 5 seconds, he was like, here's one for you.
See? I knew they were mean.
They are mean. They are mean.
So ponies are way meaner than horses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know if I was scared of ponies before that, but I have been pretty scared of horses and ponies ever since. And I'm all right without them.
And you know what? I know that that's my fault, and I feel bad about that it was my fault, but I'm just so happy that one of these stories involves me. It's like by the time you got up old enough to remember stuff, I was off doing other things. So yay. I got some of the bad press.
You hurt me real bad that day. So no, I have more good memories of you than bad, but the good ones aren't as funny, so sorry.
True.
Well, we helped a lot of people there. So that is Wopsel's crazy animal story. Shishi, what crazy animal story do you have for us today?
Well, I would like to give you guys a choice. Okay, I have. You can choose between the sweet and fluffy or the insectoid. So
I think I have to go sweet and fluffy.
My gut says sweet and fluffy. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. That's the one I planned, but I thought maybe you'd rather hear something else. So, okay. This was recent, like maybe a couple years ago. I have this walking trail that I do. I start from my house. I go out. I kind of live in a small town, so you can get out of town pretty easy. So there's this little loop that goes around out where not very many people live, and lots of rabbits and squirrels and, things in the woods there. All the trees are right up next to the road. And I'm walking along doing my middle-aged power walk, and a car's coming. As soon as he gets up to probably about 50 yards away, he's flying. They fly down that road. So out of the corner of my eye, I see a bunny rabbit on the side of the road, and I'm coming towards the bunny rabbit. The car is coming towards us, and I'm like, you get that feeling like that animal is going to dart across the road, and I hope he makes it. You can just tell when they're about to freak out and go into danger for no stupid reason. So this is a short story, by the way, because that rabbit, this all happened in like a half a second. I'm walking, car's coming, rabbit's right there. Suddenly the rabbit is in the middle of the road. It leaps up in front of this SUV and explodes.
Oh no!
Fur
Whoa.
everywhere. It's snowing fur.
Oh no.
So I'm standing there.
No.
I'm shocked, standing. I turn around and watch the guy just keep on driving, and I can imagine how I look in his rearview mirror, and I know that he has to be laughing his butt off because the fur is snowing down on me. It gets in my hair.
Oh, no.
It got in my mouth. I had to spit it out. It was so weird.
That is by far more crazy of an animal story than Wopsel's was. I have to say that.
Insane. I have never seen that happen before. And then of course, there was a dead rabbit, but he just looked like he was asleep on the road. But how did he lose that much fur and still have all that fur on him?
Wow.
He exploded.
Yeah, I've seen animals run out plenty of times, but they've never gotten exploded.
Well, and I guess I realized that sounds like his body exploded, and it didn't. It was just a giant explosion of fur.
It just knocked the fur off of him, basically.
Yeah, totally. But I saw it all in slow motion. I was like, he's running. If he had just kept running, he probably would have been okay, but he leapt up at the last second right in front of that car.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Short story. Short and sweet
Good
and
one.
fluffy.
Good one.
Okay, well then I am going to go we're about to help people a lot, and I'm going to give you guys a choice too. So the bologna, you want that one, or do you want? So we got the bologna, or we've got off to the races.
I like bologna.
I like bologna too, so that's the one I was thinking. But bologna, it sounds like bologna.
But
that's a really short story.
Off to the races sounds intriguing, so I might vote for that.
We might double dip. I might tell both.
Okay.
Because they're both short. Okay, so let's just get this one out of the way. We had a dog that was a wiener dog, and his name was, well, how creative, Oscar Mayer Wiener Dog.
I hated that dog.
It was the worst dog that's ever lived.
It was the worst dog.
I didn't know he was a bad dog. I remember him.
He was the most annoying dog we've ever had.
He chewed up my new rabbit fur coat before I could wear it to school. It was in my closet. You and rabbit fur
are a bad combo, she.
That was karma. Future karma for what I witnessed.
Right. Wow. And so anyway, one day, Mom is coming home from the grocery store, and she has a sack, and the sack breaks in the front yard, right in front of the porch, and stuff goes everywhere. And so we collect all the stuff, but apparently a package of bologna got she didn't see it when she picked everything up, and so it was hiding. Well, Oscar Mayer Wiener Dog came along, and so I come outside to play, and I see Oscar eating the bologna, and I'm like, oh, okay. But Mom, Oscar ate all the bologna, and she's like, oh, okay, cool.
It's his favorite day. It's the best day of Oscar Mayer Wiener Dog's life.
That's Oscar's best day. Yeah, and then the next day, I go outside to play, and Oscar comes running by me, and he's got a red string hanging out of his butt.
No.
For days, every time you looked at Oscar, he had a red bologna string hanging out of his butt because he ate the strings along with the bologna.
And there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to wait.
Is that Daisy?
Did you hear that? Yes.
Yes.
That's Daisy. My dog that has never had anything hanging out of her butt. So
now,
that I know.
So just to throw it out there, off to the races is really more of a generic thing. This is not a specific crazy animal story, but it is one that everyone has encountered, and I would like to talk about it. I want to treat this like a review topic. Guys, what about when you leave the house and the dogs think they have to race you they don't know where you're going, but they will run. They will give everything they have to get past you. And then they go, well, I don't know where we're going. And then you pass them. And then they're like, oh, here we go.
And so, of course, that brings up the memory of us running from our tiny little, what was she? Like a,
right.
I don't know what she was, like a Pikachu or
poodle,
not Pikachu.
It was a
Peekapoo, not Pikachu. But yeah, she would run.
Grown up with a Pikachu in the house. It was like
dog could keep up with our van, and Mom would just punch it, and we would be going 50 miles an hour down in this neighborhood to get away from the dog.
Every time we left the house, it was the same the same activity, we had to drive as fast as possible to try to get away from this dog. And this dog was like, it thought it was a game. But we were worried because if the dog keeps up with you and you get a long ways from the house, then the dog's not going to be able to find their way back home, right?
Right, or get stolen, or
get stolen, right?
Or run over. Yeah.
Am I remembering correctly that one time when we stopped paying attention, we pulled up to a business, some establishment, and the dog was there with us?
Yes.
I think that happened.
And
Did
this
the gas
little
station
dog,
do something? Yeah.
This little dog was so wily because, we didn't just let her run around outside. She was a house dog. She was in the house. And she was so small, she could just get out before you even noticed. And then she would not come to you because she knew it was racing time. And that's what she wanted to do. She was so smart, too, because she knew that if we turned right, she could cut across that field and catch up with us at the next corner. We were running stop signs, putting children in danger.
Was so hard. Yeah, I do remember that, too. That's why she was so hard to lose, because you're in a car, so you have to stick to the streets.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't, so she could
didn't.
just cut wherever.
Right. And it was great because the van would be full of mom and 3 kids, and we're all coaching and giving tips on go turn right.
I think we're losing her. No, here she comes.
Mom's like, do you see her? We're like, yeah, here she comes. There was so much activity going on.
I remember we'd be like, put your left blinker on, but turn right. Just really figure out.
I do remember that. Yeah. I wonder what would have happened if we had just gone back home and gone inside. Did we ever try that?
I think she would have been like, hey, great race, guys. Good job. That was fun.
I'm tired now. Let's go in, have a drink.
She totally would have. We could have raced around the block, come back home. Everyone got out like we had accomplished our goal, our task, and just opened the door, and the dog would have ran right inside. Okay,
that's cool.
I think Mom might have something to say about that. She probably remembers that very well because she was the one in charge of the escaping the dog. So.
She was the getaway driver.
Yeah,
doing those.
That was a good memory.
It probably wasn't near as fun for Mom, but as a 10-year-old kid or whatever, it was a blast.
Yeah.
Every time you leave the house, it's here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was
good. This has been Crazy Animal Stories. You might think they're fun, or maybe they're boring. There's fish that can fly and bees that are swarming. We'll tell them to you, even if they are corny. It's the Crazy Animal Stories. That's right. It's the Crazy Animal Stories. Yeah.
Woo.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening. That's episode 28 for you, and that's going to do it for this week.
Yeah, we would love to hear your haikus or your thoughts on whether or not witches melt in water. So you can send any thoughts you have to reviews at kick.cool.
And we also want to give a huge thank you to the band Bugs. Bugs sings our theme song called Reviews. And please go to their Facebook page and tell them how much you like their music.
And I would just love to thank everybody for listening. If you like what we're doing here, you can support us by buying us a coffee. If you go to kick.cool, we have a button that you can push and you can give as much or as little as you want.
Yeah, we're really thirsty and tired. So
yeah, thirsty and tired.
Coffee.
We do. We do actually have things, equipment that we could really use. We would like to make our sound better. We would like to make things a little easier and just, present a better product. So we really could use the donations to upgrade our equipment.
It's a good way to show you care.
It really is.
Yeah, big time.
Well, that's it for this week. We will see you next week, Coooool Kickers. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Love you. Makes it better that there's no sound. They can't hear the song at all.
But I know what part it's doing.
Yes, yeah. He's cheating. Yeah.
He's already the roof. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Cake cool.